Bowerdad here, and welcome to Why Did I Lose? From the onset of this game, it looks like there is a really strong possibility for a Trick Room setup, and I identify my opponent's team as having mostly special attackers. I figure it's a great opportunity to set up a Dynamax Palkia, Max Quake in order to boost my special defenses, put on some immediate offensive pressure, plus I have Incineroar and Landorus in the back in order to deal with Conkeldurr, their only physical attacker. Seems like it's in the bag, but come see how it actually plays out in episode 16 of Why Did I Lose? I feel that my opponent is going to go for a really standard follow me Trick Room, but I know exactly what I want to do. I Dynamax Palkia immediately. I set that Max Quake. Landorus is allowed to Earthquake freely, thanks to Telepathy, will not take that damage. And Hatterene will set Trick Room. NDD does survive, but the Expanding Force doesn't really do a lot of damage. Landorus is able to wrap it up cleanly, and Palkia will get another Quake and another special defense boost. So I'm off to a great start, and we see their back two. At this point in the game, both of my Pokemon are +2 on special defense. Even though Primarina has a better typing into the Pokemon that I have out currently, I'm still expecting Conkeldurr to be the one to Dynamax. This is exactly how it's going to go. I swap out for Incineroar so I can get an Intimidate. Conkeldurr will Dynamax and Max Knuckle, boosting its attack power. Thankfully, I'm able to get off a Wormwind to lower the attack, do some good damage to Conkeldurr. Incineroar takes a bunch of damage from Hyper Voice, but I consider it totally worth it. As it turns out, Conkeldurr has Guts, so I do another swap for another Intimidate, but unfortunately I'm going to lose both of my other Pokemon this turn. Palkia is going to go down to a Knuckle, and Landorus is going to eat dirt with this Hyper Voice. And this is where the game really turns. We're brought back down to an even 2-2. Unfortunately, with Psychic Terrain and Trick Room up, Incineroar is an absolute sitting duck. It will go down for free. Thankfully, Amoonguss is able to get the Spore going, and then a whole bunch of stuff goes back to normal at once. Unfortunately, Primarina gets the one-turn Wake Up and the Blizzard, so what looked like a winnable game is suddenly not. I am able to pick up the KO on the Conkeldurr, but unfortunately it's not enough. Amoonguss will go down to the Hyper Voice, and that'll close out the game. Now, this looked like a really solid plan with crisp execution, but there is one key moment in this game where I messed up, and it really cost me. I'm just going to show you the clip. It's the start of turn 4. Now, Landorus was toast anyway. However, if I had simply protected the Palkia, it would have survived that Max Knuckle, it would have survived the turn, and it would have provided us a couple of really good downstream effects. Incineroar would have been able to come out after Psychic Terrain had concluded. This means that it's able to provide some fake out pressure, which would have been really helpful for closing out the end game. Secondly, it would have allowed Amoonguss to be paired with Palkia on the following turn, allowing for perhaps some redirection. It could have protected itself, perhaps granting some additional options. That answers the question, why did I lose? For those who might not know, that was actually the first episode of Why Did I Lose that I've ever done using a game from Pokémon Showdown. If the faster action Showdown games is something that interests you, you might also want to check out this episode of Why Did I Lose, where I get trashed by a Rotom Wash in only a few turns. That's my time. I'll see you next week.